What is going on, people? Welcome back to the Top Tier Podcast. This is episode 107.
107.
107. My name is Brendan. You can, of course, find me on the YouTubes over at youtube.com/Retel Factor. You can find this show, the Top Tier Podcast, over at youtube.com/Top Tier Podcast. With me today, Esports Money, Behr.
What's up, guys?
And
gals.
Fucking that's it, man. We've been holding this show down.
Yeah.
God damn.
Hey, man, there's a lot to talk about.
That's true.
There's a lot of gaming.
We don't got the rest of them slowing us down, holding us back.
Billy's still grinding Destiny.
I know, he is.
I see him online. He's probably got all the greatest and latest gear.
He does. I'm a higher power level than he is, though.
Are you? Oh, yeah. he's taking his time, but he's enjoying it. He's probably playing the game the correct way.
Well, he is. And also he's playing through all of... Because he's like, we could dive straight into the Forsaken shit. Yeah. But no, he wanted to do all the Curse of Osiris stuff, all of the Warmind stuff.
Good on him.
And now we're starting... I went through a lot of it with him.
This shows... this is coming from Billy's RPG, like, MMO background of World of Warcraft and other games that he's dabbled into. So you can tell he's a completionist.
Did you hear about the raid and all that shit?
I did.
It was like...
there was the race for it. And
the race for it, apparently in the first 24 hours, 18 people finished it. That's it.
Yeah.
Which is 3 raid groups.
That's pretty crazy.
Fucking insane.
Yeah, and then they also unlocked something for the rest of the players.
Yeah, so I think it was a new strike or something like that.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's very cool to know that a group of players unlocked something. That was really neat. I can't imagine how cool it is to work at Bungie and be part of that raid team and to watch the live streams. Like
people trying to figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out, and you're kind of like giggling of like, haha, they don't know what to do.
That
here.
shit, man, and like super popular Destiny online personality Datto. You know Datto?
Yeah, no doubt.
They apparently you get like a special emblem or something for beating the raid within the first 24 hours of its release.
Oh.
And he missed it by like 2 minutes or something like that. And it's just like, oh! And so there's like a hilarious Twitch clip you can go and see him just be shattered.
Oh, that hurts.
They missed it by 2 minutes, dude.
Damn.
But I think when like the last raid that launched, or like I think like with King's Fall, for instance, right? Back in Destiny 1, there was like thousands of people who beat it in the first 24 hours. This time around, 18.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane. So some people are like, did they make it too hard?
I must show you. I don't know anything about it. I didn't watch the actual raids because I like to go, but that must show that the mechanics must be quite, complex for only 18 people. That's insane. Because
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's intense. And the fact that like when the first team did it, that means it was still so hard to figure out and coordinate. And there were, I guess the strats aren't complete yet. That like people who tried to mimic it, because people are obviously watching these live streams, people couldn't mimic it, right?
Yeah.
So that's insane. That's so cool. Good on Bungie, man, for evolving their game, because the first game, the only good thing about it was the Vault of Glass, right? That was really that was the most complex thing in the entire game, which was the raid, and only I want to say 2% of players probably did the Vault of Glass,
which is really sad because it's the best content in the game.
It is the best content,
and and also shout outs to Bungie for sticking with it, because they had people were shitting on Destiny, just shitting on it.
Yeah.
For even once the game was considered good, it still left a sour taste in so many people's mouths that they never went back and they would just shit on it.
I think when a game has a bad reputation, it goes for a lot of titles. I'm fully convinced that there's no way to really bring the audience back once you've already soured something so bad. I obviously Capcom's trying to do this with Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
And, you could say Rainbow Six was that, post-launch. We always mention this game on the podcast of being that post-launch success. But I don't think Rainbow Six ever really soured people.
That's the thing. It was more just it came and it was very lukewarm. It was no one hated it.
Exactly.
No one hated it. It was just kind of, all right, this is all right. And then everyone kind of moved on, except a core group of people kept on playing and then spreading the word of fucking how great the game was.
Exactly.
And
so
that slowly built up that player base.
That first impression is so important for games. It's so damn important because that's where all the jokes and the memes about the game come out from. That's why I'm convinced that Capcom, because they've been doing so many great decisions. Sadly, Capcom Vancouver shut down, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we will talk about that.
They kind of know where to focus now, and I think for them, best case scenario is just go on to Street Fighter 6, call it early, I think that would be a really smart move for them, because the numbers for Street Fighter V I don't think are going up. And if they are going up, I don't think they're making money on each unit sold.
What's funny, I feel like with Street Fighter V is that the name, I feel like everyone who's not in the FGC still liked Street Fighter V. Like, I would say most reviewers and people who played the game, not like casuals, liked Street Fighter V.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think it's 50-50, because I remember being at the Call of Duty World Tour for Electric Playground. I was doing interviews there, and there was a bunch of Call of Duty journalists there. And this guy clearly knew nothing about fighting games. He just knew about how the story for Street Fighter V went.
Okay.
And I remember telling him, it's like, oh yeah, what other games do you do? And I mentioned, it's like, I've done commentary for, fighting games. And he was like, ooh, I'm so sorry about Street Fighter V. He thoroughly apologized from someone who's not even in the world. He knew the whole situation.
I guess if you have your ear to the ground with what's going on in the FGC, you'll definitely pick up on the fact that the FGC ain't so hot on Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
Another interesting case would be like No Man's Sky, because that is a game that did a complete 180.
Yeah, I did a complete 180, and sorry, go on.
And I feel like, so everyone hated that game, but I feel like the general consensus on it now is actually positive.
Yeah, I still think whenever I see comments, it's still 50-50 for me. It does what it seems to be 50-50. Because there is that core group that's really giving this game a chance and like, hey, this is actually a good product now. And then there's so many people in the comments who are still so bitter about the game. Because all the memes.
Of memers, dude, the memers.
Yeah, and the videos that came out of it. And like, it's just, there was a sort of taintness around it, but I don't think it's right to do that. I think you should totally give these games a chance. Another go, but it's very hard.
It is. Oh, it's totally hard, because I remember when the trailer for No Man's Sky Next dropped. That was the huge, gigantic expansion that they did, and the buzz was so positive, and the video and on the official trailer had all these positive reviews, giving props to Hello Games and all this shit. I'm just like,
they're doing a good job.
That's good.
Yeah,
it makes me happy, because I felt really bad for Hello Games. They shot themselves in the foot because they overhyped the game.
What's his name? Sean Murray. Sean Murray. That's right.
He overpromised on a lot of shit. Didn't do himself any favors. He overpromised,
and obviously there was that huge dead period where he was completely silent.
Oh, he disappeared.
But I think his mindset, just from seeing him and him releasing stuff, is the fact that he feels in a place where he needs to prove himself. Yeah. And I think that's what he's trying to do with No Man's Sky. He's putting his heart and soul, even if he might not be making money right now, into this title to I guess prove himself and to prove the industry that this guy can make games, right? That's the sense I'm getting from him, because I think a lot of other developers, in the case that No Man's Sky went in the direction it went, would have given up on this alongside. They would have abandoned ship.
No Man's Sky sold a shitload.
It did sell a shitload.
Sold a lot of copies. And I think they just came to Xbox One not that long ago, right? With the next update and all that stuff.
That's true.
And I think they sold quite a few more copies. But I'm one of the few people who actually didn't hate the game when it first came out. Vanilla No Man's Sky, it was definitely nowhere near perfect. I just had my expectations in check. I'm just I know this ain't going to be what these fuckers are promising.
There was something relaxing about playing that game. I did beat it.
It was very therapeutic. I got the platinum trophy.
Yeah, you went in, dog. You fucking went in. Yeah. But you definitely see the game's flaws clearly.
Oh, yeah.
After you see the repetition of
the bases.
Yeah, it did not feel like a PlayStation 4 game. But
for sure.
I mean, if Sean Murray keeps going at it, I think No Man's Sky could have huge success with an expanded version if they bring it to the Switch.
Did you ever play Next, the update?
I did not.
Because they added a lot of cool stuff. This wasn't even in the next update, but they added stuff like vehicles and stuff and base building. And
I saw.
Now the game's in third person. You customize your avatar. Yeah, well, you can switch back and forth between first and third.
I didn't see third person at all.
And you can customize your character and your race.
And you can create bases now.
Create your bases and play with friends in a group of up to 4.
Oh, I think. So that's interesting.
It's really, really cool.
I'd love to give it another try.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'd love to give it another chance. I mean, I'm happy to see every 3-4 months I see an update to it of some sort. So, I mean, he was a bit of a Peter Molyneux.
Oh, don't get me started on Peter Molyneux.
But
did you ever hear Peter Molyneux in the story of he released this like iOS game or something like that. He's like, the winner of this game, their lives will be changed. Did you ever see this? Read this fucking story?
Dude, there's so many Peter Molyneux quotes where I would never trust that guy. I wouldn't buy a bar of candy.
The person who won was supposed to get all this money and a slice of sales from this next game that they were gonna make. And this dude has never received anything.
Oh, God.
And it's like, oh, God, Peter, just shut your fucking mouth, dude.
You know, there's only one aspect of Peter Molyneux that I respect, if he's not as like a scammer, which I don't think he is the fact he's a dreamer, right? And
it's literally so comical. I should do a deep cut on Peter Molyneux.
You should do it. It's actually a really good. That's a very good episode. Actually, I would watch the shit out of that.
Be a more comedic episode.
Yeah, I mean, your videos actually have gotten me on a train. I've been watching a lot of like little analysis videos. I was about to say anal. I mean, I watched all of your deep cuts, of course, except God of War, I think, is a spoiler.
Oh, you got to watch that video. No, you got to play the game.
Yeah, exactly. I'm waiting till that. So I did skip out on that one. And that one did well on views, didn't it?
It did. Yeah. It's still getting views. It's almost
awesome.
At 8,000. I was like, what?
That's awesome, man. Good on you.
From 8,000 to drop in the bucket. But for me, that's good.
No, man, that's good. Honestly, when you reach 10, for me, even 10K, when I get a 10K in a video, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah. And
that's all I want.
The cool thing is, though, it got a lot of views, and there's a lot of like... a lot of people commenting and was very positive about the video.
That's good.
Instead of, sometimes you'll get a lot of views and people will talk a lot of shit, but no, this was a good one.
That's good. That's good. I don't think you get a lot of shit on your series.
No, not usually.
But I was just going on, I don't know what got me into it, but I was just thinking about horror games. The fact that, I'm too much of a bitch to play horror games. I've been looking at a lot of Resident Evil 7 gameplay because I have my VR headset. Anyways, I was very curious about the Silent Hill series. No, dude, I will shit my pants. Honestly, I will shit my pants.
It's October.
Yeah, that's true.
Gonna play some scary games. We gotta do it.
Yeah. Silent Hill series is at least the first game. I don't know if you went through the first game before.
No.
Yeah, and I think you really should.
I think I should too. I played Silent Hill 2.
Yeah, Silent Hill 2 is pretty fucked up as well. Excuse my language, but it's like the whole twist and everything on it.
My deep cuts on PT, I go in about Silent Hill 2 as well. I make comparisons.
Yeah.
And Silent Hill 2, the thing I like about the Silent Hill series is that, when compared to Resident Evil, the story is very straightforward. It's just these people stuck and they gotta survive. Mm-hmm. But Silent Hill, it's like the story can be interpreted in many ways, and there's a lot of shit going on underneath the surface.
There is. There's a lot of symbolism.
Yes.
With the bosses and things like in Silent Hill 2, the bed and that shit's fucked up. But Silent Hill 1 story, I haven't gone to 3 yet. I'm watching some analysis videos of just like going through the story, explaining all the little minute details.
Sure.
And the first one is probably, and according to some of the videos and the creators, it's like the craziest story. That one is very confusing and weird, and I was just very surprised. Like exactly what you said. The story is much more, I guess, like just less straightforward than Resident Evil.
A lot to unpack. It's not a straightforward narrative.
And there's like multiple endings and all that jazz. Yeah, and I know Resident Evil has multiple endings as well, but these ones are a lot more drastic. Yeah, well,
Resident Evil 1, multiple endings is who makes it out alive.
Yes,
that's about it. That's it.
So interesting series though. It actually makes me really want to put it on my PSP and just play through Silent Hill 1.
Your Vita?
My Vita. That's right.
You'll always be singing that Vita praise.
I know. I love that Vita, man. Everyone's like, oh my God, Castlevania's coming to Switch. Bitch, Castlevania's been on the Vita. All right?
I know, that's what I was seeing too, also about a lot of people getting all excited with the PlayStation Classic.
I know.
I was like, first of all, the emulation looked terrible. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
The emulation looked a little fucking rough.
It's just a really cheap Raspberry Pi.
And a Raspberry Pi could absolutely play all of that. My fucking PlayStation TV can play all of that. I saw your tweet about that.
Yes.
And, I was just like, why don't they just sell these games on PS4? You could play all those games on your PS3, literally all of them.
I know. It's all about marketing. That's the power of marketing. Obviously they copied what Nintendo's doing. And, I think it's cool. It's great that they're releasing it, but don't be surprised when the PS Classic comes out that it's actually a PlayStation Vita that's been software changed.
These are just a bunch of repackaged Vitas.
I would not be surprised if they just took their crazy load of Vitas, brought them back, did some software update on them to just make it PS1 games, and that's what you're gonna get. It'd be a very smart way for Sony to make their
get rid of all that old stock.
Yeah. And it's weird. I don't know how some people were losing their shit over it.
I don't get it either, because there's just better ways to play it. You can play it literally anywhere else. Like, again, the PS3 or the PS3 is probably your best option, because you can still buy those games for like $5 a pop.
Yes, and remember, PS3 can play PS1 discs.
And you can play the PS1 discs.
Yeah.
So it's like, I almost like, kind of like the SNES Classic. Like, these are like impulse buy, put it on the end cap right by checkout, and some mom will buy it. You know what I mean? Exactly. I feel like that's what the original intention for these consoles were, but then the gaming crowd just got behind them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ever since Nintendo started.
I think it's just anything Nintendo releases is just kind of like a big deal.
Because like just Sega's been doing theirs for fucking ever. They've been terrible with AT games and shit like that.
Well, Sega's issue is that they've been so dedicated to their Master System and their Genesis lineup. It's like they don't know what they're missing out on. If they do a Sega Saturn Classic or a Dreamcast Classic, can you imagine like how many people would lose their shit like playing?
I would lose my shit. Dude.
Yeah, dude, I would buy that 100% for either one of those.
Like, I have a Dreamcast, and I got all of the expensive pieces. I got a FrameMeister. I got the SCART RGB cables. But I'd probably still buy a fucking Dreamcast Classic.
Of course. And then you think about all of the re-releases with the, Sonic Mega Collection. They're all Mega Drive games. They're all either Master System or like, I don't know why they're not dabbling into the games they have.
And the thing is, too, is like they're releasing a lot of this. It's always the same Mega Drive Genesis games.
I don't get excited about them. How many times have I played Golden Axe?
And it's like, the Genesis actually has a lot of really good shit. Maybe it's licensing issues.
It's licensing, yeah. If you're thinking about like Comic Zone and like Contra Hardcore and there's a lot
Castlevania Bloodlines, like so many good Genesis games. Fuck.
I know. there are.
It's so funny because I have a Genesis and a Super Nintendo. I feel like maybe it's because I grew up with the Super Nintendo and I played the shit out of all of those games. And I got a Genesis way later. And I started playing a lot of the old Genesis games. I've been playing my Genesis way more.
Really?
Than the SNES. Yeah.
Interesting. I think the SNES is a better console.
Oh, 100%.
Even though I grew up a Sega kid.
I grew up a Nintendo kid.
But there are some really cool titles on the Genesis. Even games like Skitchin and Road Rash.
Yeah.
Those games like Road Rash never made it on the SNES from what I know. I don't think it did.
Made it on N64.
It did, yeah. But Mortal Kombat 1, if you wanted to play the bloody version.
Yeah, the real version.
The real version, that's right. That was
and then 2 was way better on SNES.
It was, yeah. 2, they eventually brought the violence back. Yeah. Which was...
Because it sold like shit. Like, I think the Genesis version outsold the SNES version, like, way more.
Yeah.
So, like, oh shit, we need this violence.
Yeah.
The SNES, though, had some of the best RPGs. The SNES was an RPG machine. Mm-hmm. Had some of the best RPGs probably ever,
man.
right?
Yeah, I
Final
think so.
Fantasy 3, aka 6. Chrono Trigger.
Just Mario RPG.
Secret of Mana. Mario RPG.
Yeah, the list goes on. Very cool. Very, very cool.
So what else, man? What else is new with you? You're leaving us soon.
I am leaving soon. I'm going to a family reunion in Germany, and then we're going to Turkey to a resort, which I've never been to Turkey before. It's very weird.
What's Turkey like this time of year?
I think it's really nice and warm.
Really?
They have resorts and all that stuff. I never thought of that. But I saw some footage. Like, damn, Turkey looks damn nice. But it's something really special because we never do this with our family. Like, usually only like a small chunk of us will go to Germany. By small chunk, I mean like 1 or 2 people.
Yeah.
But this time, like, almost my entire family's going, and almost all of my family in Germany. Like, everyone took the time off, so it's just going to be like 20 of us. Rolling around. It's gonna be real special. I really love that.
I haven't had a real vacation this year. My only real vacation was Billy's bachelor party.
That's right.
Like, I took time off. Like, I took a week off when I was fucking moving. It's not the same.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean?
Right.
So I've just been busting ass all year.
Yeah.
Sucks.
And too bad. Even in Billy's vacation, didn't you get sick?
I was. Yeah, that's
you were
right.
sick
and
or
for
something.
Fucking Billy's cruise, I was like sick the whole time.
Yeah, and it took you like 48 hours to take your first shit.
Oh, no, like 72 hours.
72. Yeah, we talked about this. I was worried about you.
I was worried about me, man.
But yeah, man, I'm super excited. Sunday I leave, which by the time this podcast is up, I'm probably gone. I'm already in Germany. So yeah, It's exciting. On top of that, though, obviously just working and going and playing a lot of different games, man. Really, obviously Spider-Man was our big topic last time.
Did you finish it?
I did finish it. 100% it. Platinum.
Oh, you got the platty?
Got
Shit.
It's a really easy plat. I did way more than I should have. Like I gold starred every Taskmaster challenge, took all the photos. They're not that hard, but if you to gold star them, sometimes you do have to do them again. And I realized you only had to do one of each. You don't have to like do all of them.
Oh.
And I was doing a lot of other stuff.
I didn't platinum it, but I obviously I beat the story mode.
Mm-hmm.
I did 100% of the side missions. I found all the backpacks. I did all the Black Cat missions, little side quests.
I did those as I was playing.
Yeah, but I would like clear it out. But I didn't go and do all of the crimes in every region and stuff like that. It was just or all of the little research stations.
Yeah.
Because it came to a point where I'm just like, this feels like just busy work. So I'm just gonna move on.
That's fair.
I really enjoyed my time with the game though. Yes. It's fucking incredible.
Some of the research missions are really fun. I know what you mean by some of the pacing issues in the story. But I honestly didn't feel like I felt it as much because I was taking such big gaps between every mission.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of worked in a way there was like time jumps. I was kind of like, oh yeah, I just did like fucking 20 missions. So it kind of makes sense with kind of where the story is progressing. So for me, I like 100%ed it before I finished the story.
Did you enjoy the parts of the game where you don't play as Spider-Man?
I don't think that's a spoiler if you're trying to sneak around this, beat around the bush. That's not a spoiler. I wasn't crazy about them. I thought they were really cool. Like, it was kind of cool to be in Mary Jane's, kind of point of view. And then they'd always do the 15 minutes before sort of
that's happened like several times,
and a flash forward. It was interesting. It was a nice change of pace. I wasn't crazy about those sections, but I did like the fact that those sections were quite short.
They were very short.
Yeah, they didn't kind of drag them and give you like...
Because I don't think they're terrible, but I'm just like, every time I started playing as her, I'm just like, I want to play as Spider-Man.
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, some of the coolest missions, though, was when you were working with Spider-Man.
For sure.
So
and
when
there were parts where like you could be like, okay, we should be like now.
Yeah,
and like you could see Spider-Man kind of take out the guy.
Come on, that was so cool.
Targeted.
Seeing that from a third-person perspective, from someone else's point of view.
It's kind of neat.
It was very cool. I thought that was very unique. Just a phenomenal game, man. This is really such a standard. Obviously, Rocksteady set the first bar for what superhero games should be like with Batman Arkham Asylum. Yeah. But this, as far as Marvel goes, really sets that bar high. And it gets people thinking, and Marvel fans like myself thinking about obviously what other characters they could do if they put this level of production and this level of love and passion to the game. Because the emotion was there, especially in the last act of the game. I really loved that, that emotion and how they set everything up and just how hard everything was.
Yeah.
It did it so well.
There's there is a kind of a couple points where it's just like the story really gets to the feels. Man.
It does, and I didn't expect that.
Yeah,
especially at the end, it really hit me in the feels. Not cry level, but I can see how that could make some people cry. Sure. Like, it was totally pushing it. And the beautiful thing was the fact that you could tell the Insomniac team took pages not only from the comic books, but just from the cartoons and even the movies.
Yeah,
a lot from the movies. That the good parts. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man obviously ended off terribly with Spider-Man 3, but the first and second movie had so much great things going for it, particularly the second one.
Yeah,
I felt was the strongest.
I think for the longest time, people considered Spider-Man 2 to be the best superhero movie, right?
Until Dark Knight.
Yeah, not until the Nolan films came out.
Yeah, Batman Begins was also absolutely
I even think Begins is better than Spider-Man 2, but Spider-Man 2 is it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
And I think the only other thing that kind of bugged me about the game, I wouldn't say bugged me, but it's just like, I hated Jonah.
Oh, really?
I was like, this is a son of a bitch. Yeah. He's talking so much shit. Because Jonah J. Jameson, he's always been, a thorn in Spider-Man's side, right?
Yeah.
But he's always kind of been likable. You know what I mean? He's always just had this little bit of...
Yeah, they really went the douchey route with him, yeah.
But this, I was like, shut the fuck up, bitch.
I found it quite amusing though. I like the fact that he always had callers who were just like who were saved by Spider-Man, and they were praising him, but he always tried to make him.
You always turn it around. And you just straight up call them wrong.
Yeah,
I was like, what?
It's like, do you know the whole situation happened because of Spider-Man?
Yeah.
It was, the one thing that I did like, because the whole game for 90% of it, like obviously he is just a dirtbag.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole thing, which I thought was fine. But, when things did take a turn in the city, I won't, spoil the event. There was a time where he actually, praised Spider-Man. He kind of gave him his props. They were very...
He admitted he was wrong.
He admitted he was wrong. That's right. I thought that was really cool. I did wish there was some form of mission with him. I was a little disappointed. I was hoping that
you never
see him.
No.
You never interact with the full.
You just hear him
Jameson
on the radio talking shit, mad shit.
I was hoping for a side mission.
I was hoping for like a side mission where, like maybe at some point in the game, like you save him or something, and then that would be very interesting. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the game, is very video gamey in a way where it's like, okay, I cleared the main story, and so Jonah J. Jameson's saying all this nice stuff about Spider-Man and how saying I was wrong, and then you could tell. Okay, now I'm just doing side stuff. It went right back to thrashing them.
That was good, though. It was good they kept that theme around. I loved the boss fights and how they pulled that off. The mechanics, like I said, my first initial kind of critique, I mean, don't get me wrong, the combat is fun as hell.
Yeah, you were knocking it last time.
I mean, I still wish it was a little bit more challenging. You know what I mean? I didn't find a lot of the fighting scenes that I never, even after
I ever got stuck.
Gold starring every section, like I didn't feel like there was real challenge with.
And they really give you a lot of tools.
They do.
Some of them are super fun to use though. That's what made combat so fun for me.
Yeah.
Is you can switch between all of your little tools, your gadgets.
Yeah, and you find really cool ways to utilize them.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, the one, the wall one, right? Like that one's really useful in stealthy situations because you can just stick, like if two people are facing each other, you can stick one on one person and they kind of like elastic band to each other and get knocked out. There's a lot of really cool, neat things like that. And it forces you to switch between your arsenal. Terrific game, man. I was real sad. I felt real empty. I haven't felt that in such a long time. I was so empty when I finished it. I was kind of like, damn, like it's over.
Yeah.
I spent so long on the game and I was finishing every little side mission and every little thing here as I was going through it.
I should have taken a bit more of my time with it.
I think so too.
I plowed through that bitch so fast.
Real fast, yeah. I took my sweet time.
But I really enjoyed my time with it though. And it's one of those ones I feel like when the DLC comes out, if there is, I'm definitely going to go back and play it.
I think so too.
I'm not always like that. Usually once I'm done with the game, it's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
That
one's I'm super looking. I think the first one is on Black Widow, is it?
No, it's a Black Cat.
Black Cat, sorry. What am I saying? Black Widow. Yeah, Black Cat, and I thought another one was announced too. I forgot, but I'm curious to see where it goes. I hope that there's not like a huge story expansion. I think the ending of the game with what it left us with, I felt like that was a good setup for the sequel, and I'm hoping that's going to be what the sequel's going to be.
The Black Cat one, is that one where are we going to play as
I think
Black
we
Cat?
are playing as Black Cat.
Because I feel like that would probably be best. I feel like Spider-Man's story's kind of done at this point, right?
Yeah.
For this game.
I think so. Unless they add something else.
Yeah.
That it could be
And I mean,
tied into.
there's like the door is fucking wide open for future Spider-Man games too.
Yeah.
Like it's shit's gonna get crazy.
Phenomenal.
I can't wait to see what Insomniac does with it.
Yeah, definitely a game of the year contender. Boris actually played through it because I was gone on a work trip for a weekend, and he just plowed through it. I think he just did the story and a few side missions, so he just beat it and was done.
What do you think?
He loved it.
Nice.
To be honest, for him, he liked it more than God of War, which is crazy.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I think I still like God of War more.
Yeah, but I was surprised from him because he's such a story-driven gamer. So to hear that, especially because God of War was God of War is like a near 10 out of 10, man, for me. Yeah. I would give Spider-Man like a 9 or a 9.5 to be honest.
But it's like, it's not like God of War is way better than Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're two of the best games of the year. Shout out to fucking Sony, man.
Yeah, I think it gives it comes to perspective. One thing about Spider-Man that's so nice, it's such a feel-good game.
Yeah.
It's bright half the time and a lot of jokes, and it's just one of those games that will put you in a good mood.
Yeah, it's like a game I could see myself going back and just jumping in to fuck around in.
Exactly. And just
I
like swing
do that
around.
With God of War.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because it's some deep stuff, right? And it's all so dark. That's how I felt about when I beat The Last of Us. was kind of like, I don't want to go back to this game.
It was an amazing experience, but Jesus.
Yeah,
we've just been through some shit.
Yeah, I was emotionally drained after finishing it. But just kudos to Insomniac, man. I bow to them for making such a terrific title.
Speaking of Sony, did you see their tweet this morning about cross-platform play?
I did. That's right. The Fortnite fans are going crazy.
I think it was just the tip of the iceberg, man.
Good for them. I know. I think this is a huge...
This is gigantic.
Yeah, I think it's really big. And
huge.
It's a bigger win for like Microsoft and even PC gamers because they have so much smaller player bases for multi-platform games. I'm not saying that there's few people owning those systems and playing on PC because there's millions, but it's more of like multi-plat games, like even Call of Duty titles. I have friends who are crazy into Call of Duty. Yeah. And they say they stopped playing on PC because the player base would die so fast.
Absolutely. Like, man, I honestly, for me, it's like some of these games need these player bases. Like, fuck, try to get a match in, like, you know, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite on PC.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's playing on there. They're all on PS4.
Yeah, well, don't expect Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite to get patched for that.
I know, but I'm just saying.
That's the last game you should be thinking
that's
about.
probably a bad example, but I'm just saying, like, any game that relies on a player base and an active player base, this, like, if this becomes the new norm, becomes the new standard, it takes one of these gigantic fucking, you know, too big to ignore games like Fortnite. Like, Sony, they couldn't afford not to do this, I think, because they're probably losing all these Fortnite players who want to go and play elsewhere, spend their money elsewhere.
They're losing system sales, and the game
and they're
is,
and you know, and just word of mouth. No one's on Sony's side on this one, so this is something that they had to do. Yeah, 100%.
I'm sure all the kids were like, "Yeah, why would you play on PS4? You can't play with everyone else." Yeah.
Like we're all playing on our phones and on your Switch and on your whatever, right? And then no one can play with the PS4 kids.
Crazy. The phone players are playing with PC people. You guys are fucking nuts, man.
I fucking love it, man.
I'm already feeling like even like they should add crossplay if you want to.
Yeah.
To do that because obviously playing against PC players on any shooter, damn son.
On your phone, apparently there's like a little. I've never fucking played it. Apparently there's this toggle where you can say, "Oh, I only want to play with phone players."
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
But no, dude, it's such a good time to be a gamer. All these companies are doing these gamer-centric things. Microsoft just announced mouse and keyboard support for Xbox One. Did you hear about that?
I didn't hear about that, no.
Just mouse and keyboard support for Xbox One.
Wow, you just plug and play?
Apparently. I don't know. Impressive. I didn't get the deets.
I mean, you are running Windows 10 on that bitch, so it makes sense.
It's becoming more and more a PC.
That's so cool, man. Microsoft is... Obviously, they're behind on the console war race. Obviously, I don't think the Switch has outsold them yet. But I'm just saying, like, you know, they're not doing very well in terms of software sales. But they're making some of the best decisions.
They are future-proofing themselves, setting themselves up for major success. Like, when the next round of consoles come, which probably isn't too far away, like, you would think my immediate go-to, I'm going to get a PS5, obviously. But now it's like, well, shit.
Yeah.
Like, Microsoft's doing a lot of really good stuff, man. Like,
good investment.
I can tell you for sure all of my Xbox One games will work on the next Xbox 2, whatever the hell it's going to be called.
I love that about them. I feel like my library is well alive. Yeah, just smart. They're the first to really get into that Netflix subscription model for gaming. You know, I think that Sony tried that with PS Now, but streaming is not the same thing. I know they just announced the download.
Yeah, but not for PS3 games, because those games... They're fucking tough to emulate, I guess.
Yeah, so weird. Sony needs to redo their whole infrastructure, and I think the PS3 messed them up completely the most because it was such a weird console.
Such a hard console to program for, and everything ran like shit.
Yes, I mean, near the end of the life cycle, people figured it out,
but
it took too long.
It's not like you'll be able to, the same way they can run a PS2 game, no problem.
Yeah.
It's not like or the Xbox One can run 360 games, no problem. Billy's here.
Oh, shit. And we're talking specifically about the multi-platform games.
Yo, dog. Just come to the front door.
Hey, Billy. I love you, baby. Oh, got some Wendy's?
Oh.
You can't bring Wendy's to Retel's house without giving him some.
It's against the law, dog.
Anyways, yeah.
What the fuck were we talking about?
Xbox.
But
overall, Xbox has been killing it. Game Pass is good. I'm a believer. I'm a purchaser. And it actually makes me try a lot of games that I would not have tried otherwise. I mean, Ruiner I probably would have bought eventually, but Ruiner was one game I mentioned last episode. I recently tried. What'd you think?
Yeah, I didn't. I got to the hub world.
Okay. Oh, bless you. Oh, get him, Retel.
I'm fucking dying.
That was a big one. That was a big one.
These allergies right now. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
You got into the hub world. I know that's kind of where it really starts.
Yeah, so, and then I stopped.
Oh, okay. It gets better. It's very weird when you start, right? Yeah. It's kind of, you see all these messages, and I didn't know what to think until I really started getting into it. And after that, you start doing some levels. Anyways, the new game I tried was a game that I was going to buy, but until it reviewed very poorly. And that is Onrush. Oh,
Onrush didn't review well?
I don't think it reviewed very well. No. I think it was okay. It wasn't great.
There have been games that I have personally liked that haven't reviewed well.
No, it's true. And I don't follow that as the Bible as well.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things, kind of, games in Canada. Do I want to pay $80, $90 for a title like this?
Yeah.
And I could totally see the flaw. So Onrush's evolution, they cut down that team, I think, now completely. But it pretty much, when the MotorStorm team got shut down, they went to Evolution and they created Onrush, which is very much has the heart of MotorStorm, which is a franchise I absolutely love. But they completely twisted into this kind of, it's not a race, you just have to destroy other cars sort of game. And I played, like, as soon as I got home, actually today, I played about an hour and a half of it. And it was cool. I could totally see what they were trying to pull off with it, trying to pull off kind of like this cooperative, almost class-based racing game. But you could,
like team-based?
Team-based. It's just two teams.
It's like, and I don't know. It's like a MOBA racing game?
A little bit. I don't want to call it that, but you could tell, because you know how there's like minions in a MOBA game to just kill?
Are you trying to CS in the...
You kind of are.
Oh my god.
You kind of are. There are little other gray cars that just get killed in one hit. You pretty much are CSing them for points and boost. So it's very much try to take that formula and try to, I guess, progress the racing genre, because obviously racing games, they're still fantastic genre, but it's not evolving outside of Forza Horizon.
Right.
And actually just the Forza team. I wouldn't even give Gran Turismo that much credit.
Well, Gran Turismo, they released what? Gran Turismo, what's the most recent one? Sport?
It is the recent
Came
one.
out like, what, last year, 2 years ago?
Yes,
and it fucking just made zero splash.
Yeah, it didn't. I just think they really lost a lot of their pedigree. I think Gran Turismo 5 with the prologue and how long that game took, and when it finally released the full version, it wasn't that amazing. That really, I think, gave a sour taste in some fans.
And all the meantime, like, fucking Forza's just pumping out all these excellent fucking games.
Exactly.
How many Forza games were released in the time that, was it Polyphony? Is that the company who does the Gran Turismo games? That they were just, taking their sweet ass time making this game that kind of was mediocre.
You're absolutely right. That was the problem. They must have released at least 4 games during that time. And obviously they hop back. It's Playground Games does the Horizon games and everything. So they have 2 studios, but...
And I personally kind of like the Horizon games more.
Yeah.
Like the Forza Horizon games.
I even like Forza Motorsport more than Gran Turismo.
Yeah. No,
because I play the Motorsport games, and just like even having the Top Gear guys, well, now they're the Grand Tour guys, but having like Jeremy Clarkson and the team and Hammond and everyone commentating. I think this was Forza Motorsport 5. Like, that was so special and so cool. Like, you can tell they put love into it.
It's like, you might not know this about me, but back when on the original Xbox, my online crew, the 2 games we played, Halo 2, Forza Motorsport.
That's amazing.
Those were the 2 games we were always playing.
I played the shit out of Forza
Motorsport was so sick.
It was so good.
It was so good. That game still looks good. It's really fucked up.
Dude, the Xbox is amazing.
The OG Xbox, way ahead of its time.
Dude, it can run. There's games that are 720p on the OG Xbox.
That's insanity.
And there's a lot of games that are 16:9, which is still pretty unheard of for that generation. Because 4x3 was
the standard.
Was just the standard, so the Xbox was just pushing that. But anyways, Onrush, give it a try. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's bad. I think there's something cool there. It's really sad that they didn't get a chance to grow on it more. But you could totally see the flaws. It was just a shame that they didn't add some form of racing aspect to it. Because it totally feels like something's missing when you're not trying to be in the head of the pack. All you're trying to do is destroy other people and boost as long as you can.
Yeah, because I feel like all these companies, like there's a lot of games that are, I feel like racing sometimes is just not enough. So they try to put in these new different mechanics. Like a really good game I enjoyed was Split Second.
Yeah, that was a great title.
That was a good one. What are some other ones, like Full Auto? Did you ever play Full Auto?
It sounds so
It was
familiar.
like a combat racing game.
Oh,
it was,
I think
it was actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't reviewed well or anything like that, but I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Yeah. Burnout games are obviously
Burnout. It's all about the
fantastic.
crashes and shit.
But I commend them for trying something new. They tried to really evolve the genre, and I think it was a huge risk for them to release a game like
Sure.
that. But
Yeah.
in a way, they had to. Like, what else are they going to release? The arcade genre for racing games is taken up completely.
Yeah.
And the simulator one is just dominated right now, both by Microsoft properties, I would say.
You even got stuff like Project Cars giving them a run for their money too, right? Mm-hmm. Which apparently Project Cars 2, apparently they're really fucking good. Mm-hmm. And then you even get the rally genre is all taken up.
That's right,
the racing genre is really competitive. It's like shit.
It is competitive because I think there's only room for so little.
Yeah.
Like a handful. By handful, I mean like 5 or 6 like.
And even
IPs.
then, like, are games like, was it Grid and stuff like that? Are they really moving tons of units?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Because what is it? Dirt Rally I know did very well, and a few others. So, but I still super sad. Breaks my heart that we'll never see another Motor Storm type of game again. Especially considering Motor Storm was just such a good title. But that concludes my rant. Give Onrush a try. Very cool. Speaking of free games. See what's free on PS Plus, dog?
No, it's free.
That's not very impressive.
Is it Friday the 13th?
Yes.
Are we going to play? Are we going to fucking
I thought of you as soon as
Can
I
we
saw
please?
We'll play.
Yes!
I'll absolutely
Okay,
play right there.
because
I don't know anything about I've seen gameplay.
That game is not fun by yourself.
Okay.
But if you get a squad,
That's it? Okay.
game is a shitload of fun.
Let's do it. Let's do
So
it.
if we could get, let's get a squad going.
Yeah.
We got Billy on.
Get Billy on. That's right, because
Yes.
everyone's going to be... A lot of people are going to play. The other game that's free is called Laser League, which is a game I got back when I worked at EP. We actually got a review
that a
copy
VR
for
game?
it. It's not a VR game, no,
sounds
but
like
it's
a
like a
VR.
really weird Tron type experience where you do 4-on-4 and you have to like there's like class, very simple, very simple class-based little thing where you kill people by activating these nodes that come in different patterns. Until you really try it, it's hard to explain, but it's really unique title. I'd say everyone who has a PS4, give that game a try, because that game died real fast in terms of player base, because I don't think a lot of people bought it in a get-go. But with an active player base, that game could be so much fun. And I'm actually super excited for it to come out in October, because I want everyone to give it a shot. And it's very smart for the company to release it as a free game so soon, because they saw that obviously they weren't pushing units. So it's the best thing. That's what Lawbreakers should have done. That's what Lawbreakers should have done, man. But I talk about Lawbreakers enough. I'm just salty.
Isn't Lawbreakers? They're officially.
I think they're officially
done. The servers
done.
got shut down.
I need to check the subreddit. I think they're officially done, because
The servers got closed.
Yeah, I think
I'm like 99% sure.
I think it was like September 25th. So that's which has
Fucking
passed.
sad.
Super sad.
I can't believe
I love that game.
the servers. They didn't even keep the servers open, man.
Right now, dude, I'm praying that Nexon abandons the franchise and is willing to let go of it and sell it. And I hope that some sort of studio buys it and at least keeps the servers running.
Yeah.
Just make it a free-to-play game.
I feel like if they would have done a couple changes, that game could have had a second life.
I think so too.
Make it free to play.
I think if the game was just free-to-play and you have to pay for like loot boxes,
Cosmetics, like whatever.
Cosmetics,
sure,
yes,
I get it. You got to make money.
I know. I said the word loot boxes. It's terrible. But if it's a free-to-play
game,
I'm totally all right.
That's fair.
Hi, cat. Oh, you're gonna make me all dirty again? We're doing this again.
Yeah, why do you like that?
He likes the Afghan.
The Behr so much.
Yeah, I'm sad about Lawbreakers. It breaks my
really
heart.
too bad.
Yeah,
Fucking
that's
Cliffy
just one
B,
game.
man, too bad.
And he's like, let's talk about Cliffy B very quick.
He's done. He's not gonna. Well, the dude never needs to work another day in his life. First of all,
Yes,
he's making.
Oh, he's
mad money.
And he's made mad money.
He's made mad money, and he gets royalties from like the Unreal tournament or the Unreal Engine.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Dude,
know about that.
he's smart with his money.
Yeah,
he actually owns stakes. He owns a stake in quite certain in Epic.
Wow.
And so
That's huge money.
right now, fuck yeah, it's huge money with shit like Fortnite going on.
Damn.
The dude never needs to work another day in his life. He's fucking set.
That's insane. He was a big part of the origin of Fortnite, right? He was the first person, I think, who presented it on stage, 100%. I want to say. But that being said, it was kind of sad to see him on Twitter. You know, he said he's just in a down state right now, especially after, you know, really trying something new and opening a new studio and moving to Korea, I want to say. Wasn't he in Korea?
It was
I think that's where
Boss Key, was it Korea? I think it was Korea,
I think they were in Korea. Yeah, I think he started a studio there. So he clearly must have came back, and
he put out a bunch of his game pitches. Did you see this post?
Oh, I did.
Some of them are really, really fascinating. He had like a spiritual successor to the old fucking arcade game called Tubin, which I thought was dope as hell, and I loved the artwork. And I'm just like, how did a company turn this idea down?
Yeah.
And you know, he was kind of given his experiences of going and pitching these ideas and just having them all turned down, and you know, it's hard, man. It's rough. Even if you got a big name like Cliff Bleszinski, you know, it's hard to get approval. Hard to get money.
It sucks. Yeah, I really hope that he comes back to, because I love almost all of his titles. Yeah. Like, I think he's a great developer. As many memes you can make out of Cliffy B and the things he said in interviews, it's funny, but he's, you know, I totally respect
his most famous lines is wasn't he one of the things everyone held against him for so long is like Japan doesn't make good games or something like that.
Yeah, he was really going in on Japan, like
this
pretty
was
hard.
At a time though where they were not making good games.
That's true because around 2007 2008 US game production, absolutely, like North American.
They've stepped it up now, but that was in a time where all the good games were coming from North American developers.
I think Kojima even admitted that. He said that, you know, he looks up to North American developers. He used to look at Rockstar and a lot of things that they did, and he aspired to that.
Because Japan, they were kind of, you know, they had their formula. This is how games are made. And a lot of their things, they weren't really pushing the genre forward, pushing shit forward, and the North American devs were.
Yeah.
You know? It's an interesting time. They've definitely caught up now. Holy shit.
They have, yes. I mean, they've been taking the risks, and they've been pulling through. And RPGs, I feel like, are back. And more importantly, what I feel is back is the revival of single-player games is back. And I felt that in the last 3-4 years. Because before, you know, developers would almost never release a game without some form of multiplayer gimmick attitude, because they thought that that's what players wanted.
Multiplayer.
Yeah.
When BioShock had a multiplayer mode tacked on there.
When Dead Space 2
had
a multiplayer mode. You got to remember, there was a lot of games that just had a tacked on multiplayer. Obviously, GTA was successful with it, but they added one, and so many titles that just had terrible ones that the servers died after.
I feel like, it's definitely that era is done. Now it's moved on to be like, this is like, we're either putting all of our eggs into this online basket.
Yes.
Or it's a single player game.
Which I love.
Yeah.
And I think that's the right way.
I think it's the way it should be.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like Call of Duty canceling their main single player campaigns. I kind of understand, dude.
Like Assassin's Creed understood that too.
Yeah.
With you know, all the new games, like Odyssey didn't have a multiplayer, and the new one is called
Origins. Odyssey's the new one.
Odyssey's the new one.
Origins was the Egypt one.
Both of them I don't think have multiplayer, which is good. No. Like, it's good for them to just
would be like community events where you could like the community could cooperate towards this goal or something like that. Yeah. But it wasn't like PvP or anything like that.
Exactly. Know? I think Metal Gear Solid 5, I mean, it had a multiplayer.
MGO?
Yeah, but their single player multiplayer thing was kind of cool. If that makes sense, when you had to invade each other's bases and stuff. That was cool. Yeah, interesting time for games, but definitely I feel like we're heading in a good direction. The age of free to play is gone. The age of like loot boxes is gone because of some games had to take that sacrifice, and sadly Lawbreakers and Battlefront 2 and games like that were really part of that.
It's a different era in gaming, you know, games as a service, you know, free to play games that are largely driven by microtransactions. It's like we're still figuring this shit out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The formula hasn't been perfected, so you'll see companies try these new weird things. Sometimes it works, sometimes it really, really doesn't. You know what I mean? And you get major backlash like Battlefront 2 or something like that.
Yeah. Battlefront 2 was like $10 on sale. I should have bought it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was on the PlayStation Store. That sucks because all the
Yeah.
DLC plans for that game were all like canceled. I feel like it was just too much negative press. That's also a game that I don't think we'll be able to recover.
That's so unfortunate because the game looked good. You know, like I didn't buy it just because I don't really play online shooters and stuff.
I didn't even buy it too, and I'm a huge Battlefront fan.
Yeah.
Like I played the crap out of Battlefront
Like the
1.
PS2 ones and shit. Oh,
Even
yeah.
even Battlefront, like the remake.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The reboot, like I platinumed that, and that's
People
hard. That's
on
a
their
tough.
PSPs in school and shit.
Yeah, that's right.
That was
yeah.
a thing. So
But-
TGS is going on, or went on. Did you? And so Sony had like a pre-TGS event. So did you see? There is a new Samurai Spirits, aka Samurai Showdown
I did.
game coming out.
Super cool.
So as a major fighting game nut, thoughts and opinions go.
Dude, it's amazing. I just hope that there's more budget because I think it's the same team that's doing KOF that did KOF, isn't it? Do you know what
I
team
don't
it
know
is
how many
that's
teams
working?
SNK has.
Yeah. Whatever it is, they need to put a huge focus and budget into this. And they can't do the KOF 14 route. Even though it's a fun game mechanically, the models were ugly.
There was.
You know,
Even
it's just not a lot of content.
They put a new coat of paint on it.
Yeah,
and
I know.
It still didn't
It
look the
still
greatest.
Yeah, it still looked like a PS2 game that was ported to HD.
They stretched themselves so thin. They put out like 50 something characters at launch. You know what I mean? And KOF 14, I would play. I love the mechanics of KOF 14. I thought it was such a fucking fun game.
It was a fun game.
I thought it was
I would
so
never
good.
deny you.
But goddamn, the netcode was ass. You could not play that game online. At least I could. I tried, and I have like really good internet.
No, you couldn't. I remember we were trying to record an episode of Behr like literally a month after the game released because Air is like a good KOF player. So we're
Yeah.
gonna do like we're gonna pass the stick when
Sure.
the round changes, just kind of have a whole little
You
fun
pick your
dynamic.
character, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So would have been really fun to record. Could not find matches. I'm like, are you kidding me? This game's been out for a month.
Yeah.
It's not a long time. So, anyways, but I'm super excited about that. Samurai Showdown.
Sam Show, man. How long has it
Amazing
been?
franchise.
10 years?
I won't say longer than 10 years. I think
What was the last one?
Oh,
Samurai Showdown 6? Is that the last one?
I think so. And I think that was on PS2.
It was. That was a PS2.
So that's
game.
longer than 10 years, dude. It's been about 15, I want to say. 15
Yeah.
or more. Because 10 years, remember, 10 years is 2008, Doug.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. like
When I think 10 years ago.
10 years
I was
ago
thinking,
is
dude,
now
2000.
10 years ago is now Super Smash Brawl, Mirror's Edge, Dead Space, Metal Gear Solid 4.
I know. So Dead Space, I'm thinking of doing a little bit of a stream of Dead Space because
Oh,
of
do
the
it.
10-year anniversary coming up. It's October.
That's right. I bought, actually the game store by my place, I bought Dead Space 2 recently.
Ooh.
Limited edition of that because I beat Dead Space 1. I loved it. Absolutely loved
Dead
it.
Space 1's so good.
And I never gone into 2.
2 is so good.
And 2 I hear is
2
really
2's
good.
fantastic.
So I bought the limited edition. That means we can play Extraction next time I come here because you can play HD Extraction.
Very nice.
You guys don't know, Dead Space Extraction is the prequel. Dead Space 1, it's a rail shooter.
Yeah, well, yeah, light gun shooter, except
Yeah.
not with light guns.
Yeah, it was on the Wii, and
was
then
on
they
the
brought
Wii.
it over, which I'm so happy they brought it. So I tracked down limited edition. That's the only way to get that game. They don't even sell it on
disc?
the store. Yeah, it's on the
Really?
disc. It's not even on the store. Yeah, so
That's so fun. Why is it not on the store?
I don't know.
The fuck are they? Sony.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Fuck are you
I know
thinking?
if it's Sony. I think it's more of an EA thing.
Yeah.
Because even like the Time Crisis collection, I might be wrong about Dead Space. I'm pretty certain that it's not. Someone double check that. But the Time Crisis collection that I have,
Yeah.
that has Time Crisis 4, Time Crisis
Is
Raising
it because
Storm.
they don't want people buying it without knowing that it's a light gun game or a PS Move game?
I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe. But I mean, the store tells you that too.
Yeah, they put all those warnings on.
And all those games you can actually play with a controller, by the way.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
that they don't fear
Like
too
the
much.
worst way to play.
But even the Dead Storm Pirates one, the collection, that's not on the store at all.
Interesting.
So I made sure to order that shit off eBay ASAP because I think that might go up in value real quick. I think it's a good time to grab some PS3 games. A lot of
PS3?
game. Like there's a lot of games I could tell. Like I know No More Heroes on PS3 are already really hard to find. That's one that I really want to get soon because that's going up in value and that's already worth like $50. I think they didn't make many of those.
You know
So-
what? If you were really smart, you would start collecting all the fucking Wii U games.
Yeah.
Because that
Think so.
motherfucker sold half what the GameCube sold. And GameCube games are expensive as hell.
They are. What was that Itagaki game we were talking about? Did we mention
Devil's Third. That game already sells for $100 plus.
Damn. Yeah, because they must have. That motherfucker must have sold like 100 of those bitches.
No joke. I think in the first week they sold like 90 something copies. I remember reading the headline, dude.
Oh god, dude. Itagaki just like absolutely failed as a developer, man.
That's so unfortunate. That was a guy who was like, his team did all the good work.
Yeah, wasn't he like under some sort of sexual harassment allegations in his old team?
You know what? Probably, but I feel like in Japan, you can get away with more shit.
Yeah, it's true. And plus, things have changed compared to like 10, 15 years ago in terms of like tolerance for that stuff.
For sure.
Like you can't even have a little bit of that or you're out. But yeah, it's a good point. Retel, do you have a GoPro? God damn. I don't know, you're a GoPro kind of guy.
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay.
Get that fisheye lens? Shit.
I bought a GoPro for my
every time I go to Hawaii and stuff.
Good shit, good shit.
Great.
I respect it. I watched Justice League recently.
Oh, no.
What a terrible movie.
Man, I could have told you that.
I know, and I knew as well. I was going for a ride. You know, I was like, you know what? Play it. I can't complain about the DC cinematic universe if I don't watch every movie. And boy, was it bad.
Well, you know what the sad thing is, too, is what, Mount Batfleck's out? Henry Cavill's out?
Is Henry Cavill confirmed? I thought that was just a rumor.
I don't know if it's confirmed, but everyone was talking about it.
I think it's
Where
a good
there's
chance
smoke,
he is.
there is fire.
Yeah, oh man, the mustache, the CGI. What was going on, man? There's just their use of CGI. Don't get me wrong, Marvel's terrible with CGI as well.
Yeah.
But at least looks better than what DC dished out. Because, man, that was something
Out of 10?
else. Out of 10? Oh.
4?
Fuck, man. A 3.5 maybe. And if even, it's so bad. It's such a terrible film. Like, it really was. Like, when the credits rolled, I was like, that was like a TV show. Like, that felt like that was.
It was pretty bad.
I was super disappointed, and more upset for DC fans.
And
more than anything, the fact that they just get to see how well Marvel is doing, and they get this shitstorm of a franchise.
What I really feel bad about is like, we're never gonna see like the proper Zack Snyder cut.
Yeah, I think that like 80,
I don't know how much better it would have been.
I think 80 to 90% of it was reshot.
Yeah,
and you know, I was talking to my brother about this because I was like, really, like, do you think it was? And the cool thing about Zack Snyder's version was the fact that he shot it on film. When Joss Whedon took over, it was all digital. That's why it also looked very weird and crazy. Because Joss Whedon's a huge fan of digital because I think he likes to play back his stuff. But there was also a lot of like screenshots of Superman with a beard and him like grabbing on to Batman. And I think the movie was going to be a lot darker.
Of course it was. Zack Snyder.
I mean, Zack Snyder, right? And I think a lot of people were complaining about that. But I felt like Justice League was trying too hard, at least with Whedon's cut, to be lighthearted. Like there were some funny moments, like very few, but a lot of the jokes just didn't stick. And it was just so weird to see Batfleck go from being this dark Batman in BVS to like this kind of...
It was such a tonal shift.
Yeah, he was just cracking jokes and it was so weird. It was like, really, you changed this much and everything's just so rushed, and throwing Cyborg and Aquaman in this. It's like, we needed some origin stories. Like, a Justice League movie should have been a much bigger deal.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I remember that, like, when the movie was almost coming out, there's like no buzz for it, dude. There's no buzz.
They're just rushing all these characters. Yeah. There needs to be a special, intimate moment of bringing these characters together. Because we've seen them in their own individual stories. It has to be a big deal for them to
the Marvel
interact.
formula was there, and they wanted to copy it, but they didn't want to spend the money to do it.
Yeah, they rushed it. Yeah. They just rushed it, you know. So right now, obviously, I think they're just going to go... Because I think they want to keep Ezra Miller. I think they want to keep Jason Momoa.
Well, yeah, his movie's coming out soon.
Yeah, because we'll see how that does. So I think the only option is to go...
They're going to keep Wonder Woman.
They're going to keep Wonder Woman for sure.
Yeah. She's 100%. Probably going to be the face.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hopefully whatever her next film is does okay, because they can't keep going like this. But I think they're just going to do the Flashpoint storyline. and they're probably just going to change timeline sequences. So like someone else is going to be Bruce
different
Wayne.
Universe or some shit.
Different universe is just like people ended up as different things.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that like, you know, Flash changes the past, you know, there'll be some other Bruce Wayne, or someone else ends up as him, or someone else ends up as Superman. There's things to, when you put time into the coordination, there's a lot of things that they could do. So.
Speaking of movies, I just watched, it's October, almost October.
The Nun.
I just watched, I did watch The Nun.
Did we talk about that last time?
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk about The Nun in a minute.
Okay.
But I watched a much better movie than The Nun, horror film, Hereditary.
Oh, you watched it without us?
Well, you guys...
We were supposed to have a special fucking day. What is this? We were holding out for a night with you.
I thought you guys watched it without me.
No, we didn't. We waited for you, dog.
Oh my god. Because, okay, get this. Your brother calls me. He's like,
man,
yo, Dimitri's coming over. We're watching Hereditary tonight. And this was a night that didn't work for me because I already had shit going on.
No, you bullshit.
So I'm just like, all right, they're going to watch it already.
We don't invite you over anymore. We've given up.
So I went ahead and watched Hereditary. So they didn't watch Hereditary.
So you watched it that same night alone? And
no, I didn't watch it the same night.
You're lying to me.
I'm not. Why would I?
No, I'm messing.
You know I wouldn't dodge you guys like that.
You ducked us, man. You ducked us. You pressed that circle button in Spider-Man.
Did your brother and Dimitri end up watching Hereditary?
We didn't.
What the?
We were waiting out for you.
Oh, I feel so bad.
No. Don't worry.
What the hell?
We wanted to have a special night with some 7-layer dip and Tostitos. You know,
I wouldn't have eaten that 7-layer dip.
Yeah, we know we keep that tradition alive. I mean, you watch us eat the 7-layer dip. That's a tradition.
Even when I was eating it, I'd still watch you guys eat that 7-layer dip.
I remember that Connor and Floyd fight down Boris, and I fucking destroyed your 7-layer.
I remember there was there came a point where I ended up I need to get 2 of these motherfuckers. One for the Saffies, one for everyone else.
Yeah.
But okay, well I watched Hereditary.
Fucked us, Retel.
And let me tell you, one of the best horror movies.
One of the best. Feel bad.
One of the most absolutely fucked up horror movies I have watched in a very long time.
Yeah.
Really, really, really well done movie. I was thinking about it for days afterwards.
Wow.
And really, really stuck with you. It was a very slow burn, and when shit happened, but it was a slow burn, but you were on edge the whole time. The pacing's fucking excellent.
Wow.
And there's some legit surprise. Like, I gotta also give props to the marketing team for this movie, because the movie turned out nothing like I was anticipating. So the trailers, I hate it when I watch a fucking movie trailer and I can tell you what the movie's all about.
Yep.
This is a movie
very common.
You watch a movie trailer for Hereditary, and it really gives nothing away. And it totally took a left-hand turn several times in directions I was not expecting. Fucking phenomenal film. And some of the imagery in the last 30 minutes, shit goes down, and it is fucking insane.
Really?
It's super creepy, and like it was one of those rare movies where like I actually went. I'm just like, I gotta go on Reddit and see what other people thought about this movie. I gotta go and see some,
analysis videos.
And not because the movie was not ambiguous. Like it has a clear story to tell. Which sometimes I hate it when movies are too ambiguous. You know what I mean? This is a movie that's just ambiguous enough, and it definitely tells you some answers and leaves a little bit open to interpretation. It's probably also a movie that would probably be just as enjoyable watching the second time, just because you'll catch all these other things that are happening. Fucking phenomenal film, man. I can't wait for you guys to watch it. I will watch it again with you.
Ruin the special moment, Retel. It's only special when we watch it for the first time together and we're grabbing each other's booties because we're so afraid. All right? Taking each other's blankets. That's the experience we wanted to have, Retel.
Okay, well, anyways.
But I'm glad it was good. I'm really happy to hear that. Who directed it?
Do you know what? He was like, I think this was like his first big movie, but he wrote a lot of other movies. So he was mainly a writer, and then he moved on to, he wrote this movie as well. Then he moved on to directing. I think he did some short films, and then this was like his big first kind of movie that he directed.
That's amazing. Good
and
for him.
Definitely a dude to keep an eye out for, dude, because this was seriously the best horror movie in years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Hereditary. Check it out. It might be a bit of a tough watch. I know my girlfriend was stressing out half the time, but I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
The Nun. The Nun. I did not like that movie.
Yeah, didn't seem very good.
I went and watched it with Billy.
Yeah.
Just me and Billy. No, our girlfriends were there too. And, you know, we love horror movies. We love going watching horror movies in the theater. And we really like, you know, the Conjuring movies. Like, say what you want about them. They're really, you know, jump scare filled kind of romps.
Oh, Billy.
We're talking about The Nun.
Oh, the pun.
The pun. The non-bread.
Non-bread. It was Retel's favorite horror movie of all time.
No, dude. The movie was ass. Okay, the movie, basically, all of the storytelling that happens in the first 10 minutes of the film. They get these characters here in this little church, and then they just put them in as many spooky scenarios as they can, and then it turns into fucking Scooby-Doo for the next hour and a half.
Really?
There's literally no story. I'm just like, there's no reason for these people to be here anymore. Get the fuck out.
Shit.
And it's,
There was the first two were great. Like the first two, what's it called? Conjuring, right?
yeah, like Conjuring 1
and 2 were great.
Conjuring 1 and 2 were great. Like, even Annabelle was better than this movie.
This movie
And
Billy says it was garbage. You guys can't hear Billy.
was trash.
I cannot recommend this film, especially when you got great movies like Hereditary, and
I feel like the amount of good horror movies coming out though has really dwindled to like 1 or 2 a year.
it's a tough genre to master.
Yeah.
For something like, it's a lot of, you know, they're cheap to make, and you'll find a lot of first time filmmakers making horror movies.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the problem. But
It's a good way to get yourself in the door for Hollywood. I feel like because it's such low risk to make
for
a
sure.
horror
Like
film.
Hereditary, guarantee you that movie didn't cost a lot to make.
Yeah.
I can't stop talking about it because it's such a great movie.
I
Damn.
gotta watch that movie. You told me
Yeah,
about
I'll watch
Yeah.
it. Bill, you can watch it with us. We were supposed to watch it with Retel. Invited him over, bought 7-layer dip.
it. But
He fucking bailed on us, and then he watched it alone without confirming with us.
what a terrible.
Should have called me. Hey, Bear, you wanna? It's okay. It's
So
okay.
mean, man.
I know, man. Retel, ladies and gentlemen, scumbag, stealing slowpokes.
Well, anyways, I am excited for
Don't
the
feel
new
bad. I'm
Halloween
just joking.
film that's coming out. Have you seen the trailer for it?
I have, yeah.
It looks fucking sick.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis, she's back.
She's back. That's fantastic, man.
back.
There's actually a new picture released. Also, sorry, this has nothing to do with horror movies, but like of Arnold Schwarzenegger with what's the actress's name?
Who?
From Terminator 2?
Oh, who plays Sarah Connor?
Sarah Connor. Yeah, I forgot her name. I'm
I
sorry.
don't know her name.
I should know this because
It's not
Terminator.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
No.
from True Lies.
Jesus God. I forgot her name, but she's because they're bringing them both back for the next Terminator, but hopefully it
Is
doesn't
James
suck.
Cameron involved?
No, I don't think so. I don't
That's
think so.
good.
Yeah. Well,
Well, he didn't direct the first movie, to be fair. He only directed the second one.
yes, and the second was the best.
Second was the best one.
Yeah, but James Cameron's.
Well, James Cameron,
Don't hate me. He's not the same director he was back then.
well,
He
what's-
loves CGI
He hasn't
too
directed anything since what, Avatar?
much. Avatar, yeah. I think so.
My girlfriend loves Avatar. Watches that movie every week.
Really?
Well, not every week, but she fucking watches it a lot.
Oh,
She
man.
must have seen it like 20 times.
Avatar was all right, man. It's not not good on repeat views.
No, I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's okay. I don't think it's a
I don't
great
think it's
film.
terrible.
Yeah, I don't.
It's very meh.
It's Pocahontas.
It did feel it was like
is
Pocahontas.
Pocahontas.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Are you guys almost done?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. That's gonna be it
Woo.
for episode 107 of the Top Tier Podcast.
It's a good run.
Yeah, big shout outs to our patrons. If you guys want to send in questions, send them in to the community Discord. We have a bunch of questions I didn't even get to, so we'll have to save those for next episode. And
Why don't we ask those questions while we're playing the game?
Oh.
because what if someone's listening to the audio version?
Woo.
Yeah, think about these things, Billy. You gotta
Yeah.
be inclusive, dog.
Billy talking off microphone here. You can
I
hear
know.
his
This
voice.
is a great audio show. Or you guys can send in questions to toptierpodcast@gmail.com. Anyways, thanks, Billy. Thanks, Bear. Thanks to you guys. Peace out.
Oh,